Right, everyone, are we ready for free practice 3 at the Dutch GP? It's good to be back. Are we live? Are we streaming live? And I have to say, this is the coolest temperature we've ever streamed at in this room. It's cool outside, and I've got a big fan as well, which is very nice. Only the best fans. Welcome Kate Vlatka, Mr. Niger, and JJ as well. Welcome along, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well. Just checking the status of where we are. So you see FP3 going to kick off in 29 minutes. Got the live timings for you as normal. Welcome Daily CFC Focus. What is that CFC? Oh, it's a double mic. Hang on. I thought there was a double mic. Is that better? Is that less of a double mic situation? Oh, hang on a second. There we go. I think it was a quadruple mic situation. I think we had quadruple mics on. Someone's been messing around, clearly. Nice, 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 nice. Sergio Perez, by the way, the only other driver to have won a Grand Prix this season. And he's won 2 of them. And he's second in the championship. I don't think Sergio Perez gets enough credit. FP2, it wasn't Max Verstappen who was fastest. It was actually Lando Norris in the McLaren. And as you can see from the weather forecast, it is very blustery and windy. I'm looking down at the track. I don't think it's raining right now on the track. But it's sort of like a links course in golf, isn't it? This is practice, yes. This is FP3, everyone. FP3. Welcome Martin Harmson. With a name like that, I suspect you are basically at the track. F1 crazy. Perez isn't fast enough for the Red Bull. But we will see, because it's Liam Lawson in the car today. So Liam Lawson is in the car. And, you know, great opportunity for him to prove what he can do, basically. The race is tomorrow. When is qualifying? Qualifying is... That's a very good point. I want to find out when qualifying is, and I'm actually going to schedule it right now. When is qualifying? Qualifying is today at 2 PM UK time. I think we will go live at 1. I think we'll go live at 1. So I will actually put that up. Yep, we're obviously supporting the under today, supporting Max Verstappen. Let's see if he can, you know, win this race. Ah. Well, I can't hear anything now because my headset's gone flat. Yes, we're in the UK. Bear with me. Bear with me a second. You bought G7 a day. What's the best way to make money? Go to www.sim.doctor. Sim.doctor, and there's a guide there on how to make all the money. Welcome Kip as well. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Now, let me just... So we will go live at 1 PM for qualifying. Bear with me. Why is it so early, this pre-practice? What's going on? What's up with this? If Perry loses the seat, let's see how Liam Lawson does in free practice today. That is going to be the really interesting thing to see. It's how Liam Lawson is going to do. It is on Sky. It is on Sky Sports. All right. So 2016. There we go, everyone. Done. Very good. Welcome, George. Oh, nice one. Yeah, it was a good race, and I was actually entered another similar race. Expired due to inactivity. Please refresh the page. Don't mind if we do. Don't mind if we do. Can set that on auto refresh. Bear with me, everyone. I need to get my headset. Lack of battery power. It's like Formula E out here. I have to do a lot of hot swapping on the old headset because we've got two flat batteries. So yeah, 23 minutes to go, everyone. Welcome along, welcome. Who's going to win on Sunday? I mean, does anyone think that Max Verstappen is not going to win on Sunday? But I want to do a poll for Liam Lawson. Bear with me. I want to get a poll going in here. We'll start a poll, which is, where will Liam Lawson qualify for AlphaTauri? This is the big question. I'm going to go top 3, top 8, let me know about that. Well, feel free to vote in that poll. Welcome, Ivan. Good to see you. We'll be live streaming the next one. I might be doing one tonight. But recording it. We will be live streaming a race though. F1 Crazy saying Lime will flop. I don't know who Lime is. Martin saying 19th. Well, at the moment, we've got 10 votes on the poll, and it's between 4 and 8 and 15, 20. See, it's all moving around. Look at the poll move in real time. Welcome, Dominic Toretto. Hope all is good. All is furious. Who would I want to replace Hick? Is that Perez? Well, let's see. Let's not write off Perez yet, because if Red Bull win the Drivers' Championship with Verstappen and they win the Teams' Championship with Red Bull Constructors, and Perez comes second, how can you really fault Perez? I mean, on paper, what more could he do? George saying, I think Liam Lawson will surprise a few people here. Well, we will see. We will see. Daily CFC saying Hamilton third. JJ's got nothing. He's got nothing to lose. Yeah, he's got everything to prove though, and it's a high pressured situation for sure. So we will see how he copes with it. Marta says they cannot fire him. I think they very easily could fire him. Race start tomorrow, by the way, will be 2 PM on this channel. We'll probably go live at 1 or 12:30, but that will all be scheduled. It will all be scheduled, so don't worry about that. How do you get the tracker? If only I knew. If only I knew about that. Right. 20 minutes to go. I think we're pretty much all ready. So let me again run through what happened in FP2 yesterday. And apparently it's been raining heavily, but it's not raining now. But it's been raining heavily. So we will see. When I get some more images of the track, I will let you know. George saying Tsunoda was up there yesterday, so the car has some pace. Let me just confirm that. So FP2, Tsunoda was in P5. So it was Lando in P1, Max P2, Alex Albon in P3, Lewis in P4, Yuki Tsunoda P5, Pierre Gasly P6, Sergio Perez P7, Lance was in P8, Valtteri P9, 10 was Fernando Alonso, 11 Charles Leclerc, 12 Logan, 13 was Ocon, 14 George Russell, 15 Guanyu Zhou, 16 all the way down there was Carlos Sainz, 17th Kevin Magnussen, 18th Nico Hulkenberg, and obviously Oscar Piastri and Daniel Ricciardo down 1920. Ricciardo is out. I think he'll be out for a few Grand Prix, to be honest. Yeah, go to the F1 website and I would see what they have there. Ferrari always sandbag in practice. Yeah, you never know. Although in the course of this season, we've seen by FP3, it does start to get real. You do start to see some true pace. What mic you got? This is a Shure microphone. In fact, it says Shure in it, but it's hidden. Should have put a Shure sticker. I think they give you stickers to put on it. But I should I should get a logo of my sticker. Sticker of my logo. Remember to hit that like button, everyone. We'll set a like target for today. First F1 stream in a while. I think it might be the SM7B. It could well be. George saying Albon F. I don't know about F for Albon because Albon was up in P3 in the Williams. And even Logan Sargent in P12. But the fastest lap from that session was a 1:11.3. So we'll see today with the mixed conditions, no doubt, what the lap times are going to be. F1 Crazy saying Ricciardo has broke his wrist. That takes about 6 weeks to heal, yes. So we will see. I mean, the irony is if he'd done it in the last race, he would have had the break to heal. But unfortunately here, he's now into a really busy part of the season. So that is not good news at all for Daniel Ricciardo. Yeah, I mean, let's see what Williams can do. I think Albon is really, they've got a good synergy in that team at the moment. Martin, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm afraid. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Bone in the middle of your hand. Ah, okay, so it's not his wrist, it's a bone. It's like a metatarsal or something. So much rain F1 this season. Yeah, most of the races we've covered have had some element of rain. Thinking back to Monaco, thinking back to even Barcelona. That's where Perez went off, didn't he, in last free practice? So there's been quite a lot of rain. Wasn't Canada rainy as well? And yeah, it looks like almost certain that there's going to be quite a bit of rain here as well. 60 minutes ago, I should be getting a look at the track pretty soon. F1 Crazy says Liam does a good job. Ricciardo's F1 life is over. Is his career over? The thing is, right, it's like possession is 9/10 law. If Liam Lawson does incredible, and Daniel Ricciardo was doing pretty good, but if Lawson does incredible, it's very difficult to take him out of that seat because he's sort of proving that he can do it. Daly says favourite F1 race so far. Is that a question? Was that a question or a statement? Let us know. And F1 Crazy saying Ricciardo is old. He is about 33 now, isn't he? He is one of the oldest drivers on the grid. He's just aged out of nowhere. Aged out of absolutely nowhere. Question. Favorite F1 race so far this season? Oh, that's a good one. I mean, Monaco was quite exciting. Monaco was exciting. I think, to dodge your question, I think the qualifying in Monaco was the most exciting thing this season, if you remember that. See you, George? Right, let's see what the situation is going to be on the track. It looks cloudy right now. I don't see any rain right now. 14 minutes to go. Black says rain, Netherlands sounds great for me because it could rain here tomorrow. Let's see. That's where the prevailing winds are. Barcelona practice one. Wasn't Barcelona practice one? Was that where Logan Sargent went off? Yeah, you could see, I'm looking here, footage of Ricciardo getting out of the car, and you could tell that he'd bust something in his hand, unfortunately. It's very wet out on some decking somewhere. Some very wet decking. Yeah, sucks to be Ricciardo. Dramatic. See him speaking to Lance Stroll, who also had some wrist issue at the beginning of this season, and he returned, I think, earlier than anyone said he could do. Do you ever watch a race camera drive views? Yes, we do. Let me see if I can get this to automatically refresh. Oh, I'll just do that. Yeah, you could see immediately that he wasn't happy about it. Is this video game in sync with the race data? Absolutely not. I mean, that is some next level of technology that I just don't have available. People are saying whether the Ricciardo crash could have been avoided, but I think it's a very difficult corner, isn't it? See the standings refreshing yet? Yeah, well, he'll have the best medical attention on it for sure, but ultimately it's a really good situation for Liam Lawson, isn't it? Really good situation for Liam Lawson. If you're the reserve driver, it's one of those things where you're probably like, you know, would it be a bad thing if there was a big crash today? What device are we watching on? I've got PC set up. Or is that a question to the chat, Daily CFC Focus? It is starting in 10 minutes, yeah, confirmed. Starting 10 minutes. I like to just start a little bit early just to make sure we've got everything ready. Trying to see what happened. Yeah, I think Ricciardo thought he could maybe avoid the barrier, so he had full lock on. And then that meant his hands were sort of trapped, whereas normally you see them, they just take their hands off the wheel and just, you know, let the wheel do its thing. Another question to Daily CFC. Go ahead. Please do go ahead as we get ready here to... Well, I'm very excited to see if Max Verstappen is just going to dominate the session, how the McLarens are going to do, and how Liam Lawson is going to do, how the Ferraris are going to do as well. Mercedes seem to be quietly confident at the moment, so we'll see how they're going to do. How are you streaming and watching? Oh, it is very complicated. Very complicated. He locked up and got too carried away. Yeah, something that happens in karting a lot. People often will join an accident. Maybe the yellow flag was a little bit late in coming out, or maybe he was unlucky where he kind of saw the yellow flag. Possible. Still getting some pictures around the track. It looks very windy and blustery, and there's water on the ground, but I don't think there's any rain happening right now as we speak. But if you look at that radar, then that radar is basically, there's rain in the vicinity. Martinelli, he could not see any yellow. Maybe it was just too late. Too late. I don't know what the cause of the crash was though, because I don't know if there was any oil or dust on the track or something. There was no physical double yellow flag, but someone is steering wheel. Okay. Yeah, it's an unfortunate one, isn't it? Unfortunate one for Danny Rick. Speaking of him, let's send him out again. Daily CC's got using my iPad in front of the monitor and yours from the monitor. That's great. That's a top quality setup. That is very good setup. Pro level setup. Professional. Less than 10 minutes to go. Did you watch the Gran Turismo movie? I'm in the Gran Turismo movie. Alright, I'll see you in 3 minutes, Daily CFC. Liam Lawson is a driver who has basically won the first round of every race he's ever competed in. A bit like Lando Norris. He's doing really well in the Japanese Super GT this season, although I think he was caught up in a crash in the previous race, if I remember. But you can still win Super GT. Not Super GT, sorry, Super Formula. IBFR. I play a Greek. I play a Greek Gran Turismo driver in the movie. To do more open lobbies here, we'll try and do some more this weekend. Try and do some more this weekend. Right, some pictures now of rain. I don't know if they're live pictures, but if they're live, it's very heavily raining. Very heavily raining. And I think it would still be intermediates. I think. Actually, I don't know. I think Liam, I think there's a big gap. I think you'd rather do a race in F1 than finish a season in Super Formula. People have got their sort of rain protection gear out. Yeah, I don't think he would mind about losing Super Formula if he had the opportunity to get an F1 chance. I'm not sure there's any driver in the world who would turn down that opportunity. But let me know what you think about that in chat. Let me know. That's just my perspective. But I should have a premiere tomorrow. An interview I did with John Eric Verne. I don't know if anyone remembers John Eric Verne, but I got to spend quite a bit of time with John Eric and ask him about Formula 1, WEC and Formula E. So we'll probably premiere that after the race tomorrow. It's very wet out on the track. So I'm getting live feed now from the track and it's very, very wet. So again, FP3 being so close to qualifying, teams will really not want their drivers to damage the cars. F1 Crazy is looking forward to it, very nice. Very good. Right, drivers are getting ready, everyone. 6 minutes to go. Let me refresh the old radar. You can see there is heavy weather just off the coast. George won't be happy about that. Maybe not. So if you're in the grandstands today, and sometimes we have people watching us here who are in the grandstands to get the sort of the other angle, then you're going to be in and out of the umbrellas, I imagine. Cheech, I watched all of the ad to annoy Damo. Who's Damo? Who's Damo? What's Damo annoyed about? What's this drama? Cheech 180 watching all of the ad. What was the ad? Exactly like how F1 Crazy in Monaco when it rained, giving us a live weather updates. Do we have anyone watching in the Netherlands? In fact, where are people watching from? Let us know where in the world you're watching from the stream, as there is under 5 minutes to go till FP3, everyone. I have no idea who Damo is, I'm afraid. The Damonator. Damon Hill. I feel like I should know who Damo is. Scotland. Watching from Scotland, London. Where else have we got in the world? Anyone watching from Netherlands? Martin saying it is raining in Zandvoort. Where are you watching from, Martin? Are you watching from Zandvoort? Look at that weather radar. He's a whopper. That's literally not got me any closer. Kate's watching from the UK. Four and a half minutes to go. Oh, Martin is watching from Zandvoort. Very nice. We've got Martin on the ground, everyone. We've got Martin on location, as they say. Which is great to see. Lack is watching from Croatia. Martin saying first drizzle. Cheats got me banned from Scottish chat. Cheats, I've no idea what's going on here. You got to explain what's going on. Scott is watching from the Netherlands in Utrecht, so that's very close, isn't it? So Scott Timmermans, Mr. Timmermans, can also keep us updated on the weather. Martin saying it's now a full wet situation at Zandvoort. Wow. What do we think it's going to be like for qualifying? Do we think this weather is going to hold? If you look over to, is that the North Sea on the left-hand side? It's a North Sea English Channel. Is that weather going to keep going in an eastward direction? Scotty SNR. Cheech, you've got to do a paragraph and explain what is going on so we can all understand. Martin is saying it's full wets now, and we know that Formula 1 doesn't really like full wets at all. Welcome Flatbread98, watching from Worcester. Very nice. Welcome to everyone in Worcester. Oh, it's not that close. It's dry. Okay. It's not even on our map here. I thought maybe I got Utrecht confused with Leiden. My bad. I was in Amsterdam last weekend. I was in the Netherlands. I've just returned from the Netherlands. I've literally just returned. F1 crazy. Inters wets to slow for quali. Remember 2022 Japan's Inter will try Inters. Yeah, and the thing about qualifying is that if it gets drier, it's all about being there on the right tyre at the last minute. Wow, there is some very heavy rain. Very heavy rain. I don't know, like a couple of miles, maybe? Just a couple of miles from Zandvoort. Literally no more than a couple of miles. There is exceptionally heavy rain. It's just to the north. Just to the north. Cheats was banned from Netherlands. Cheats, is there anywhere you haven't been banned from? Let's see. Liam Lawson, by the way, is on the wet weather tyre. What an introduction to Formula 1. He has driven in some free practice before, and he is the reserve driver. But what an introduction going in Zandvoort in wet weather tyres. Scott is below Hilversum and a little left of Amersfoort. Ah, there you are. Okay, we can see you on the map. You can see, if you wave, we might be able to see you. PD didn't want me meeting Emily. Cheech, you're a man who just speaks in riddles. Does anyone know what Cheech is speaking about? Does anyone know? Let us know in the chat. And welcome to the Blue Axolotl. Expectations for Liam? Well, you can see in the poll, Rob, SAFC, that the general expectation is that he's going to qualify. He's not really going to get out of Q1, but I have high expectations. I actually really rate Liam Lawson as a driver. F1 Crazy got banned from Target in the US for filming in their store. Anyone else been banned from anywhere? Let us know where you've been banned from. Jackson Mine says Kiwis rise up. Yeah, Liam Lawson, the next Kiwi F1 driver after Brendan Hartley, but two very successful New Zealand drivers in Formula E in Mitch Evans and Nick Cassidy, who will both be driving for Jaguar factory team next season as one of the Red Bull drivers is getting their boots cleaned. And there's a Red Bull. There we go. We're starting the session. Hang on a second. I got this. I got you, chat. I got you, chat. Ah, damn it. I haven't got you. Free practice. There we... The hell? There we go. An hour to go. Pretty much. Pretty much. Does a random no-name bakery in France count? It does. We need to know the story behind that. I think we need to know the story. Unpopular opinion, Marcus Ericsson needs another shop. Oh, you know, Marcus Ericsson has just basically proved all of his doubters wrong over in the States, I would say. Okay, cars are out on track. I believe everyone is going to be on wet weather tyres because A, it's wet on track, and B, it is very, very ominous. And you can see here, Liam Lawson is early out on track to get that track time that he will desperately need. He might not have ever driven this track before. It's possible. It is most certainly possible. So let's see, Verstappen out on track as well. I think it was 1 minute 11s in FP2, but it is so wet. It's so wet, but there is sun shining onto the track, so it's very reflective at the moment. But I'd be amazed if the weather is going in a sort of if the wind is going towards the northeast. I think there's a lot of rain that is going to hit the track basically. You know it's very wet when K wears a high vis. Yeah, we've got a safety first. That's why we've got the high visibility. F1 Crazy supporting Max. Who you supporting today? Yeah, let us know in the chat. Who are you supporting? Do we have any Liam Lawson fans in the chat? I'm watching on board with him now. This is massive pressure. He's got to get up to speed in wet conditions at a track he might not have really raced before. A track where the person who he's replacing crashed, and he's now doing it in more difficult conditions, and he needs to get up to speed. Does not really get more difficult than this. Cheetah supporting Kimi Vellicini. Jackson, I think Schwartzman needs a shot. I mean, Schwartzman, he's done all he can do, right? But I don't think he's going to get that shot with Ferrari, so tough for Schwartzman. Kate supporting Lewis. Black, I don't speak French, I speak English. I got kicked out, not fair, since I was 16. Kicked out of a French bakery at 16 for speaking English. Sounds exactly what a French bakery would do, frankly. I doubt they've changed. He has raced, so F1 Crazy, he has confirmed he has raced Zandvoort in F2 and F3. Very nice. Confirmed. Liam Lawson, I'm on board with him. I've been driving this track in the F1 computer game. Very sort of committal track. We need to really commit to the corners. We can see at the moment, you know, a lot slower than Max Verstappen, but he'll be really sort of getting into it. His engineers are looking very closely. Exactly, Rob, exactly. F1 Crazy saying it's too early for wets. What do you mean too early for wets? Do you think it's already intermediates? It's already intermediate conditions? On board here, Max Verstappen, who, oh my word, has a huge moment and is inches away from hitting the barrier. Inches away. Wow. Super close. Max Verstappen crosses it. Has a huge moment of swaz, and I'm going to have a look at the slow-mo here. He catches the slide, he locks up at the front, he goes off the circuit, onto the grass, onto the mud, and I'd say he's about half a foot away from hitting the barrier. So Max Verstappen, almost with a disaster, goes all along the mud there on his wet weather tyres. Rob's saying it doesn't look that wet. Well, as you can see, I think we got a glimpse there of someone being out on the intermediates and Max Verstappen comes in. It's a very dramatic moment there for Max. Liam Lawson's been on the radio, and Liam Lawson is saying it's raining quite a lot right now. So Lawson's saying it's raining. Yeah, there's a huge amount of spray. I wonder if this is one of these rain showers coming in. Maybe the one I spotted earlier. It is going to be crazy conditions here, I believe, this weekend at Zandvoort. This is exactly what people were expecting at when Zandvoort got re-added back to the F1 calendar. Mixed conditions. Max Verstappen Lando Norris with a huge slide as well. I think especially because the track is so banked as well. I experience this when I go karting in my championships on sort of tracks where there's a big incline. The water can run down the track, and depending on where the racing line is, in one corner you can go from wet to dry to wet. Very difficult. Oh, another Red Bull's been off again. Is it? No, it's Perez. Perez has been off the track. What's happened to Sergio Perez? Let's see. Chat, I think we could see someone in the wall here. I really do. I'm going to keep an eye and see what happened to Sergio Perez, who comes into the pit, so it might have been something significant. Is there going to be any damage on Sergio Perez's car? Let's see. In comes Sergio Perez. And now I'm getting a look at the replay. Oh, I had a massive, massive, massive twitch and goes into the gravel. Sergio Perez all the way across the gravel. Just could not get the car stopped. And has to shortcut the track. Perez with a skill issue. Wow, well, we saw Perez suffer in FP3 in Barcelona. Is he going to have some nightmares of that in FP3 here in the Netherlands? We will see. But a very interesting moment, very wet conditions. Lando Norris, by the way, is out on the intermediate tyre. And so is Oscar Piastri, and so is Esteban Ocon. Everyone else who is out on the wet weather tyre. So both the McLarens and Ocon are testing out the intermediate. Yeah, so it's deja vu for everyone who's been following these streams this season with Sergio Perez having another accident, but he's kept out of the wall this time. Nice job, Sergio. Alex Albon, by the way, up into P3 on the wet weather tyre. So is it still too wet for intermediates? Are the conditions just changing? It looks very, very, very difficult to drive, and I have to say, very difficult. It's a bit like Monaco, but just a lot faster, this track, in a way. It's a real technically demanding track, and you get very close to gravel and grass on the inside and outside. There's no runoff, really. It's an old school circuit. F1 Query, do you think they're on dry setups? I think I'd be surprised, because I think they're not in Parte Ferme yet. So they could always change setup after FP3. It's a good point there. When I was at Formula E, if you saw my grid walk at Formula E, we basically found out during the grid war that it was raining outside, and some of the teams went onto wet setups, and some of the teams were just like, it's too late now to actually change it. So that can, you're limited by time. You are limited by time. And I think Lando Norris took a little bit of a shortcut there. On board here with a Williams. Oh, he goes onto the grass at turn 1. Is that Alex Albon onto the grass at turn 1? That could have been a disaster. If he got that any worse, he would have maybe skidded all the way to the barriers. There is a yellow flag out as well. Oh, here we go. Haas in the barrier. And there's some carbon fibre on the track. Haas in the barrier, everyone. That's our first casualty. It's where Max Verstappen almost hit the barrier, and it's been red flagged. Red flagged. FP3, everyone. We've been here before. Driver is still in the car. It is Kevin Magnussen in the barrier. Old K-Mag is in the barrier. So I suspect it'll be a similar thing to Max Verstappen. Welcome back, Snowline. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. He was on the intermediate tyre. I suspect he just sort of had a moment, corrected it, and probably re-gripped or just slid into the barrier. So there's a lot of work now for the Haas team to recover that car and get it ready for qualifying. Gunsteiner was not happy, and this is exactly what I said teams would want to have avoided in this session, is having their driver have a crash. Remember 2018 never had red flags? Yeah, I know. They're a bit more safety conscious now. Oh, there was an incident ahead. Oh, it's way worse than what I thought. It's way worse than what I thought. I think he'd just come out of the pits even. He'd just come out of the pits. And he completely loses the back end and does a 360 into the barrier. Wow, he does a 360. It's way worse than I thought. He must have just lit up the rear end and went completely around. Absolutely crazy. Rip, indeed. Can we get some Fs out in chat for the Haas team, please? What a day, indeed. What a day. Haas might be running low on a new front wing design, maybe as well, because that is all front wing all over the track. That's why they've red flagged it there. There's also a car, the Haas, facing the wrong way at a very tricky corner. But I think it's going to be a very exciting weekend, everyone. Very exciting weekend. And I can't wait to get my headphones back either. That's going to be great. Scott's boasting about the sunny weather where you are. It's not sunny in Zandvoort, though. Yeah, F's out from JJ. The last thing you want to crash in FP3, I think they'll recover it, but we've seen in previous sessions, like when Ocon crashed in FP3 in Canada, you don't get the car back till the end of the session. The car can just, you know, be left by the side of the track, on the other side of the barrier. So yeah, it's a real disaster for the Haas team, 100%. F1 Racing could be suspension damage as well. Maybe Sky have gone to an advert. I'm going to check what the advert is for. Let's see. It's a advert for Salesforce. Very exciting. I don't know what Salesforce do. Right, let me try and change this battery. Get some battery for a little bit. Bear with me. Get this one in there. Charging. Yes. Charging. Doing a little pit stop here. Oh, there we go. I can hear myself. Let me know, by the way, in the chat, how did you find the stream today? Did anyone search? Anyone find it by searching, or did people get a notification? What was your method into the watch-along, the FP3 watch-along? Because we're going to be here for FP3, then we've got qualifying, we're going to start at 1 PM UK time, and then we've got the race tomorrow, we'll probably start about 12:30. So very, very, very exciting weekend here, because it looks like the weather is going to play a big part. There we go. F1 Crazy Sub got notification. Anyone search it? Been trying to do some stuff on the back end. First time viewer JJ with your 24-month badge. Accidental first time. We're not going to buy that, JJ. Thing is, there probably won't be a notification for the qualifying stream because I've released 3 videos in the last 24 hours. Mine opened YouTubers on top. Wow, have you been here before, Mine? Or is that the first time you've been here? Because if so, that is very impressive. Welcome to Grazina Suliga as well. Can't get away with that here, JJ. We're too wise to those tricks. But yeah, we're in red flag. It's red flag conditions, if you're wondering what's going on. Red flag right now. Second time for mine, okay. That's very good to know, though. Very good to know. Hopefully it'll be a third time later for qualifying. Let's see how quickly they can recover that car, everyone. You can see that there is still rain in the vicinity, but have a look at that weather to the west. With that intense rain, is that going to make its way from England, where I am? And are we exporting? Is this a Brexit export of weather to Amsterdam? Is that what's going on? I wonder. Well, access hello to all new people. Yeah, let us know in the chat if you're new as well. Very committed to join us for FP3. Having another look here, what happened to the Haas? Just completely lost the back end. It's not raining in London, confirmed. Not raining in London, but it's raining in the sea. Is anyone in the sea? Anyone watching from a boat? I hope they will recover this car fairly quickly and we will get underway with 44 minutes to go. And I suspect the track is slowly drying, but it will need cars to go around to really dry that track. And it was at turn 3 where it's all chewed up on the outside. In fact, we're going to get going almost immediately. Almost immediately, so I think the red flag is going to lift. Jax is watching from New Zealand, very nice. Rob, Cheats 180 might be in the sea, not allowed anywhere else. I heard he's been banned from the sea as well. Poseidon has said you are not welcome in my territory there. Not welcome at all. I think there is more rain out at the sea though that is going to come in, so I wonder if actually teams will want to get out now and get some data, because it might get really, really wet and it might even get red flagged for wet conditions. That's what I'm suspecting right now. Just my guess though, just my guess. You can see a Alfa Romeo is first out on track, so we are back into green flag conditions, everyone. How is the poll going? Has anyone not voted in the poll? People not a huge amount of faith in Liam Lawson being shown by the chat, I have to say. You think Cheech is banned from his own house? Maybe. Banned from certain areas in his own house. So Valtteri Bottas comes out in the Alfa Romeo and is going out on the intermediates, and it's the same with Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen comes out on the intermediates. So even though Kevin Magnussen just caused a red flag by crashing in the Haas on an intermediate tyre, everyone is now coming out on the intermediates. So maybe F1 Crazy was right, and it is now intermediate weather. But I really do think it's tricky, and you know, for Liam Lawson especially, who is currently sat there in P7. Lewis Hamilton out on track as well. He's exploring the grip, or lack of grip, we should say. I think it's super tricky conditions, and it's got way more overcast. There's no sun now, and I wonder if that's preeminent of So Lando Norris getting some information saying that it's going to rain like this, and then there might be a break later, but they're expecting it to continue raining. Welcome, Lorenzo. Glad you enjoyed the movie. Did you see me in the movie? It is a good, solid, fun movie in my opinion, although they're not showing it in cinemas near me, I think. I don't think they're showing it in London. Are they showing it in London? By the way, welcome along everyone. Please, please, please do hit that like button. We're back to F1. We couldn't do Spa, unfortunately, because we were at Formula E. Had a contractual obligation with Formula E there. But it's great to be back. It'd be great to pump up the likes. Maybe get to 100 likes on the stream. I think that's ambitious. But I know we'd do it. What character I played a Greek GT Academy competitor. What's the worst F1 crash you remember? Gotta be Spa 1998. Spa 1998 was pretty bad. Give that dad in the crowd a gold medal giving high five to your kids. That is cool. Yeah, Odin in London did it. That's a lot going on in that comment. Was the dad giving a high five? Very nice. I believe everyone's out on the intermediates. Yeah, don't go watch it again just for my sake. I believe everyone is out there on the Inters chat. That is the tyre of choice right now. Hamilton slots in. It was P9. He's dropped down to P11. I don't think he's too happy. It's just so treacherous here. There's a lot of standing water. And with Hamilton doing a 133... Ah, there goes Charles Leclerc out of nowhere. Charles Leclerc a 127.2. Wow. That is a second quicker than Valtteri Bottas. And quicker than Verstappen as well. So Charles Leclerc... Meanwhile, Max Verstappen had another sort of snappy moment. F1 Crazy watched it 4 times. Wow. You must know the movie inside out. I watched it twice because I was at the premiere in the Netherlands, actually. I should have gone to Zandvoort. I don't know why I didn't extend my stay and go to Zandvoort. Yeah, Spa they'll want to avoid chaos like that, I think. They actually won't want to see chaos like that. Oh, Ferrari off! Charles Leclerc is off, almost hits the barrier. He goes, he is so lucky. Charles Leclerc skids off the track and he happens to be on a ribbon of tarmac. And if he was on the gravel, he would have gone straight into the barrier, and he ended up stopping because he could brake, I'd say, less than a metre from the barrier. Charles Leclerc, is this in turn 1? Yes, it is in turn 1, where I've been saying it's a very tricky corner. Brakes, and ends up, oh my word, somehow stopping less than a metre from the barrier. Reminded me a little bit of the crash that Vettel had in Hockenheim a few years ago. And I needed to work, yes, I needed to work, so I couldn't just stay out there. I could not just stay out there. But great to have everyone back in the stream, by the way. That is big drama. Obviously, Charles Leclerc was really pushing it. Really pushing it. Bear with me a second. Welcome, Marcella. Who is 1, 2, 3? You can see at the top there. Leclerc is still on P3, but he had a very close shave there, and Max Verstappen is a 125.1. Yeah, the ice rink. Oh, man, Lance Stroll turns in and the car doesn't bite. He's on the wet weather tyre, by the way. So, I mean, there's so much spray being churned up there by Lance Stroll's car. I can't believe that some drivers on the Inter, some on the full wets. It's unbelievable. There's very tricky conditions. Where is Liam Lawson? He is in 12th place. But there's very tricky conditions here. Verstappen and Lando on the Inters, but it looks like Charles Leclerc might have set that time on the wet weather tyre. So it's a very rare scenario where we have a mixture of Inters and wets, because I think the track is maybe wetter in certain places. Welcome to Janus Suliga. Okay, it could be unexpected. It could be. But we say that. Who is number 1 at the moment on the leaderboard? Who is number 1 on the leaderboard? It is Max Verstappen. How could it be anyone else? Let me refresh this weather for you. Crazy saying Inter's faster, but it's not safe, no grip. You can see there the rain. Is it Alfa Romeo in the gravel, spinning up the rear tyres. In fact, it looks like he was trying to reverse in the gravel. That's Guanyu Zhou. He is beached. Another red flag, ladies and gentlemen. And where Guanyu Zhou is, it is sunny. It is sunny where Guanyu Zhou is. He is in the gravel. They already have the crane moving into place. What's happened here? He turned in. Oh, lost the back end and sort of pirouetted into the gravel. And then I think he tried to reverse in the gravel, but he's just beached there. So there's not enough traction on the rear tyre. So, wow, these are super difficult conditions. We are another one, yes. Get that, what's his name? Where's that guy? Get that DJ Khaled emote out. Oh, Pierre Gasly was on the gravel as well. The same place where we saw Sergio Perez sort of take a shortcut. Same thing happened there to Pierre Gasly, who's a very lucky driver. He was on the Inters. Jackson Meyer says, I think Esteban Verstappen is going to win the streak. Zam Verstappen. We will see. It has not been a good run of form for Pierre Gasly. They already have the crane, by the way, above Guanyu Zhou's car, so I reckon this will be cleared in a matter of minutes. Wow, incredible crane they've got there. The crane is about 7 nautical miles away, and it's still able to pick up Guanyu Zhou's car. Weather in the Netherlands, snow and sunshine exists. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy here on the west coast of the Netherlands. Marcella says, suffering from success. So very dramatic here. There's an advert now for F1 Clash. F1 Clash, they kept wanting me to promote their game. I was like, I don't really do mobile games. But now I feel like maybe I should have done it. Maybe I should get back in touch and say, actually, you know, I'd like to. I can help you promote this game. Because the graphics look quite decent, but it does say not actual gameplay footage. So there's an advert for F1 Clash that is amazing graphics, but I did not actually see anything of the game. Classic. Absolutely classic there. Welcome to Atmospheric 1. Good to have you with us, Atmospheric. Good morning. I know it's an early start. This is the earliest stream we've ever done. I think it's great to have you all with us. And we've seen Kevin Magnussen go off with a red flag. We've seen Guanyu Zhou go off. We've seen Max Verstappen almost bin it. We've seen Charles Leclerc almost bin it. We've seen Pierre Gasly go into the gravel. And we've seen Sergio Perez go into the gravel as well. That's basically half the grid. F1 Racing, F1 Clash is not a good game. Should I not promote it though? What if they paid me? How much would they have to pay you, F1 Crazy, for you to promote it? Jackson Weiser, I don't see the point of game ads that don't use gameplay footage. I guess it's more of a concept. They're selling you a concept. If you close your eyes, this is what the game is like. Sky have gone to a advert here. So you're not missing out anything on Sky, I can tell you. Chat, let's get those likes rolling in. Let's try and hit the big 50. 29 likes, 45 people watching. If everyone watching just dropped that like right now, we would hit that 50 100%. What time is Quali? We'll be going live for Quali at, I think, 1 PM UK time. Atmospheric Zandvoort is tricky when it rains. Yeah, it's going to be very changing conditions. Very changing. It's also quite windy, which can move some of the rain off the track. $50 per 30 minutes. That's your price, Marcella. That is your price. Welcome, John Boss. Just before 6 AM for me, looks like there's rain in Holland. Yes, indeed. Have a look at the weather radar there. It's very wet right now. F1 Crazy, personally, I wouldn't, because I don't believe in promoting false advertisement. Very honourable, F1 Crazy. There's a load of adverts for products. I don't even know what they do, frankly. There's one right now. AWS. Does anyone use AWS? Let's get back and see if that red flag has been cleared, because as you can see, there's half an hour of the session remaining. We've had 2 red flags already. It's now an advert for cricket. Anyone remember when cricket was free for everyone to watch? That was awesome. That was also great with Formula 1, wasn't it? We're bringing that back a little bit here on this stream, aren't we? Yeah, it's 2 PM UK time, but we're going to go live at 1 PM for the pre-show. But you are completely correct, Wolf. Completely correct. And let me actually just take this opportunity for some of the red flag to advance it to the next session. Bear with me. A bit of an embarrassing spin there for Guanyu Zhou. Practice 2.
Daniel, radio check.
You get different ads. This guy give out different ads.
Good. Sessions should be starting now.
So hopefully they've recovered that car from Guanyu Zhou. We will see. Oh, Stoffel Van Dorn's in. I was speaking to him at Formula E. Had a few words with Stoffel because he was the reigning Formula E world champion when I was there a couple of weeks ago. I spoke with him and he said that he was going the next day to do a test for Aston at Spa. So yeah, the Belgian driver Stoffel. We basically know everyone now. We know everyone in the pack, don't we? With your support. Yeah, so that stream is already scheduled. We'll go a bit earlier. We'll try and build a bit of the hype. There's some stuff I want to do as well, just to add some extra elements to the stream. Really. There's not that many people streaming today. There's only about 4 of us actually doing the watch along, which is interesting. And at the moment we're ranking 4th out of the 4, but we are in the top 4, which, well, you know, is a good platform. He was based in Belgium. We love him so much. He's a cool guy. I saw him in Berlin as well when I was at Formula in Berlin. Just had a chat with him in the paddock. He's quite focused though. I think he really wants to come back to Formula 1 and sort of prove what he can do. I think he firmly sees Formula E as a stepping stone. Don't let the Formula E people know that I said that. Atmospheric is happy for Liam. He does well in Japan. That's not easy, yeah. He's a very highly rated driver by those in the know, Liam Lawson. I think people are behind with F1 starting today. Maybe F1 banned them. Where's Cheech, by the way? Is Cheech still around since he's been banned? Yeah, he's the Aston Martin reserve driver. So he drove for Formula E 2 weeks ago in London in the final 2 rounds, and then on the Saturday and Sunday, and on the Monday he drove for Aston Martin at the Spa test. Yeah, maybe F1's been banning people. I don't know. I have no idea. No idea. Right, session is going to restart imminently. Do you think Cheech is banned for Cheech? Can you confirm? We need Cheech to come in. Max Verstappen is out of the car. He's having a look at the changes they're making. Lando Norris is in the car. Let me see what tyres they have on Lando's car. It is intermediate tyres for Lando. So as the session is progressing, I think we're getting more into the realm of inters. That's what I'm suspecting anyway. And there is a Williams right at the front of the light as our lights go green. So we are back in green flag conditions with about 26 minutes to go, everyone. Back in green flag conditions. Who is going to be the next driver to spin? We will see. So very good that they had that runoff there at turn 1, because that basically saved Charles Leclerc. It didn't shave Charles Leclerc. That would be an added extra there on the service. And we are going again, and I will let you know what the conditions are like. I think they are still... I think that crane on turn 1 is still hooked up to Kevin Magnussen's car, by the way. So if there was another crash there, that would take a lot longer to clear that red flag. Just to mention of the Sim Doctor, you can see there's a competition ending tomorrow to win a free NVIDIA 4060 GPU. You don't want to miss it. So if you want a free graphics card, then go to the Sim Doctor. Actually, it's not even there. There's a video on my YouTube channel about it. Taylor says, Gutted for Alonso. Stroll has to go. Go Piastri. Why are you gutted for Alonso? What's happened to Alonso? Let us know why you gutted for Alonso there, Taylor. Yeah, let's see if they what's happened to some. But it's very overcast at the moment, F1 Crazy, as we see one of the Ferraris kind of really struggling. It is very, very wet. It is very overcast. Classic Dutch weather. Classic Dutch weather, everyone. As the photographers are getting a load of spray in the face. Carlos Sainz goes into turn 1. Oh, he has the same moment as Charles Leclerc. He turns in and nothing happens, and he goes to the escape road. He is able to fully save it, but I was watching on board with Carlos Sainz Jr., and he had exactly the same issue as Charles Leclerc, where he just turned in for turn 1, didn't get the grip, wasn't going to make the corner, and had to straighten up and go down the escape road. So I don't know if that's a Ferrari-specific issue or if the Ferraris are particularly pushing it. But how is that going to be in the race when you might have multiple cars trying to do it? Go into turn 1 there. It's going to be very, very, very difficult. And Carlos Sainz, by the way, is on the wet weather tyre. So he's unable to turn in on the wet weather tyre. You know, we've got some people on the inters, some on the wet weather tyre. Charles Leclerc was watching that, by the way. He's currently in third on the wet weather tyre. The top 2 drivers set their time on inters. There we go. Kate's got the link in the chat. John, if it's not wet and windy and blowing sand on the track, it sounds like hell. F1 Chris saying it's a dry race. Is that your weather forecast from? I mean, have a look what's coming in over the North Sea there. As we see Yuki Tsunoda tip it into the corner where Guanyu lost the rear end. Tsunoda saying, I think conditions are good for the intermediate tyre. Very, very, very tricky conditions here. Very tricky conditions. Good to see some familiar faces in chat, by the way. It's great to be back. I don't have any other clashing contractual obligations for the rest of the season now. So we are back fully. I'm going to write that into my contracts when I do promo for other brands. Like, can't do these times on a Saturday and Sunday. I've got to be available to do my streams. I was thinking about streaming F1 from Formula E, but I thought that would be a bit distasteful. A bit insulting. Yuki Tsunoda goes around the last corner to set a lap time here. Will be representative and is a 127.9, so it goes P4. Remember, he just said he thought conditions were good for the intermediates, but he is currently on the wet weather tyre. And Sergio Perez does not look confident at all. Going into turn 1, he's on the intermediate tyre. I think, what do we think, chat? Do you think some drivers will have a preference one way or the other? Is that what we think? Because I'm telling you, Sergio does not look confident at all. He has not set a time in this session. He's down in 16th place, not a representative time. And he looks like an accident just waiting to happen. But Sergio just doesn't... He looks like a fish out of water here. Whereas Verstappen is sitting there on top of the leaderboard, looking supremely comfortable, as Verstappen does. F1 Racing, the car is built for Max. That could be the case. That could be it. There he goes up into P10, 128.5. But still, given that it's a Red Bull, not great. Liam Lawson, surprised that Lawson is in the pits. I hope there's no mechanical issues there, because you'd imagine that he wants to get maximum track time. Davina James, welcome back, Davina James. Bad news for me, I don't have a TV, and so I have a VPN. And I used to watch F1 on Service TV or RTL. But it seems to block for now. YouTube pilots me only, or here. But I know at Formula 1 they don't want people to watch the broadcast. They want to charge as much money as possible to everyone to watch the feed live. Is the crux of it. F1 Crazy to try a new set UOS. I don't know what a new set UOS is. Alex Albon down in P12. Liam Lawson is back out on track, which is great to see. 20 minutes to go in the session. John says, is this just the warm-up? Is this just the warm-up? This is free practice 3. Lando Norris goes fastest, by the way. 125.0 on the intermediate tyre. We'll remember Lando versus Lewis in, was it 2021? In Sochi. Was that the race? Where Lando famously did not make the correct call on the tyres. But now he's looking P1, and he was fastest in FP2 as well. It comes to a point when watching live is cheaper than TV. Yes, it would be cheaper to take a cheap flight. In the UK, you can fly to Europe for about £20. Take a cheap flight to Europe and just sit at the airport there and watch on the free-to-air, or go to a pub, or watch it here. What am I saying? Just watch it here. John Boss says you sound like my girlfriend, John Boss. I can't. Not sure about. Not sure that one is in regulation. George Rogers. So top drivers now are all on the intermediate tyre, as Valtteri goes P5 and Sergio goes P4. So good result there for Sergio. With 19 minutes to go, are we going to see anyone go off the track? Will we see another red flag caused? You can fly to Belfast for £6. Yeah, and Belfast is Belfast in the EU? I don't know how that works. Is Belfast still in Europe? Alonso, by the way, no time for Alonso. Can someone get me up to date on what the Alonso situation is? Why has Alonso not set a time? Is there an issue with his car or something? I'm afraid I've missed it. But Alonso, no time, but he is out on track now. John Boss not been out of bed long. It's just 6:12. John Boss is not awake. John Boss is sleepwatching. Meanwhile, Oscar Piastri with the fastest sector 2 in the McLaren. The McLaren Resurgence.
Yellow's ahead. Okay.
And on board here with Sergio Perez, this is going to be the lap where he did go P3 originally, actually. But look at Lando with a 123.6, purples in every sector. Oscar Piastri in P2. Looks like the McLarens are going to be the one to watch. Going to be the ones to watch are the McLarens. And then, for the first time, I think we have a McLaren 1-2 and a Red Bull 3-4. 18 minutes to go in the session, everyone. I'm very much excited. I've got a good feeling about qualifying and the race here. I think it could actually be a good race. Obviously, Max Verstappen is going for 9 wins in a row, I believe, to equal Sebastian Vettel's consecutive wins record, also for Red Bull back in, was that in 2013? But it's going to be difficult. It's not easy to win 9 in a row, to put it bluntly, and these are very different conditions than we've seen in previous Grand Prix. Meanwhile, something is not good with Fernando Alonso, and I just don't know what it is. Look at this lap from Lando. Yeah, Lando is just... Can we get some onboards with Lando, and I can let you know what's going on? There's definitely intermediate conditions now, and I wonder if some drivers are going to be less comfortable. Here we go, finally on board with Fernando. What is going on with Fernando? He comes into turn 1 on the intermediates, turns in, massive lockup, goes deep and has to go to the escape road. The same thing we saw Carlos Sainz do, and Charles Leclerc as well. So big old lockup there for... Wow, for Fernando Alonso, and he's almost sort of burnt away a lot of the tread on the front right of the intermediate tyre there. Meanwhile, Felipe Drugovich is there. I don't know if you've all seen my interview with Felipe Drugovich when I spoke to him about his ambitions to get back into Formula 1. But very interesting interview when I got to speak with Felipe in Berlin when he was driving for Maserati in Formula E. Really cool character, goes everywhere with his dad. His dad, I think, is like his agent. So I have a good relationship with his dad. Luckily saw him again in Rome. Oscar Piastri, meanwhile, being gone down to P3 because Sergio Perez is now currently the fastest Red Bull driver. We have not seen that for a long time. Wow. Is this the return of Sergio P? Can we get some Mexican flags out in the chat here, please? But there we go. Lando, Norris first, Piastri second, Perez third, Verstappen fourth, Russell fifth, and Alex Albon sixth, as I see Carlos Sainz slithering all over the track. He's really struggling. You can see Sainz and Leclerc. I mean, Leclerc was up there previously, but they're now down in 12th and 13th. And Liam Lawson down in 15th. It's wet in the pit lane. Ocon's down there. Guanyu Zhou, you know, calls a red flag. His car's been recovered. Gasly went across the gravel, but I'm not sure what's up with Gasly. It's a really, really, really difficult session for a lot of drivers. F1 crazy Max and set a fast up in a while who will smash Lando. We will see. We will see. Dewey, bro, it took him 4 laps on a drying track just to be ahead. Perez is so bad. Ha, ha, ha. With an extra H on the end. We will see, because George Russell has just gone ahead of Max Verstappen. Is Max Verstappen's career over? Is this the end of Verstappen? Meanwhile, yellow flag is out, and also George Russell is trying to overtake one of the Ferraris. There's a yellow flag as they come into turn 1. They've got to be careful because Esteban Ocon has gone off in turn 1, might have hit the barrier. And meanwhile, as I was saying that, George Russell was overtaking Charles Leclerc on the start-finish straight. In fact, George Russell could get into a little bit of trouble for that, because I'm sure there would have been yellow flags out, because as they were doing that on the start-finish straight, Esteban Ocon was in the barrier in turn 1. So let me keep an eye on this for you. That could be some penalties coming out here for George Russell and Charles Leclerc racing each other. And I possibly want to emphasise possibly ignoring yellow flags. The question is, will Lando smash the trophy tomorrow? We will see. I believe it is a porcelain trophy here, which got me worried, frankly. Going to let you know what happened with Esteban Ocon into turn 1. It'll be a classic story there of a lock-up, I'm sure. Yes, locked up early and could not make the corner, and it was a double lock-up, and first one to hit the barrier went straight into the Tech Pro. And interestingly, what they have in a Tech Pro, again, if you've seen my grid walk at Formula E in London where I talk about the Tech Pro barrier, or at Formula 1 at Monaco, you'll see, oh, there's a oh no, Liam Lawson's stuck on track. Liam Lawson's facing the wrong way on the track. I think he's had a trip to the grass, but he looks like the car's okay. Is he going to be able to... Oh, red flag. Red flag. No. Disaster for Liam Lawson, everyone. Disaster for Lawson. Facing the wrong way. Not what I wanted to see. Ah, but he's recovered. I don't know why they've red flagged it, because I think he was just doing the sensible thing, and he was just waiting for everyone to go the right way. So that is a very, very, very early red flag. How is Lawson doing, Davina? Well, he's facing the wrong way on track. They've red flagged it, though. Completely unnecessary, that one. Unnecessary red flag, in my opinion. Lawson returns to the pits. It was on the last corner. And just wasting everyone's time. Too hasty there on the red flag from race control. Guys, we're here to go racing. There's fans that have paid good money to be in the grandstand. Don't just drop a red flag because someone has a minor spin. Now, I would say, putting myself in Liam Lawson's shoes... In fact, let me just let you know what happened here. Last corner, goes on the curb. Oh, there is a little bit of maybe damage on the car as he kisses the barrier. Comes into the last corner. Very fast corner. Turns it in. I think he's going to get on the curb on the outside. Yeah, white line. Back end comes around. Kisses the corner on the inside. And either gets some damage, or that is just from the sort of advertising on the barrier on the inside. I think that should have been well, to be honest, they're not going to put a safety car out. They needed to sort of clear the track to enable him to turn around, maybe. They'll probably change the front wing on it. But what I want to say is that in my experience of going racing in real life, when you're in Liam Lawson's shoes and you're, unknown track and car and everything, not bad to spin it and get away without any damage, because you know where the limits are. He'll know now, okay, I just need to dial it back a little bit from that. And I think that crash was all about getting on the white line. So if I was Liam Lawson's engineer, I'd be saying, hey, just in these corners here, just avoid the white line on exit. Very slippy on the white line. Yeah, Michael Massey wouldn't even glance at a red flag there. If that had happened, Michael Massey would have just progressed the session and put Max Verstappen automatically on pole. That's how Michael Massey used to do things, but unfortunately, Formula One doesn't operate in those ways anymore. So there are, as you can see, 10 minutes to go, and the session is already underway, already back under green flag conditions. Very, very short green flag. I wonder if Liam Lawson will be able to get out again. Meanwhile, I think that is Verstappen going out on track. So we're going to see a very frantic activity here for the last 10 minutes of track time before qualifying.
We've just had a spin.
Is that a lockup? Good to see everyone, by the way. If you're enjoying the stream, remember we're going to be doing qualifying as well, and it would be great to see you there. I will just pop that in the chat here, just so you have that link handy. But don't worry, we're not going to go anywhere when the session finishes here. We'll analyse what's happening. No, I've done it right. Right, there we go. Just putting that over there. And interesting, Lando Norris with the most laps completed, by the way. Most laps completed for Lando Norris. So Lando might be the most confident. He was the fastest in FP2. He is currently the fastest in FP3. Is Lando Norris the favourite here for qualifying and the race win? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. No, Lawson. Is Lawson not going to go out again? We will see. I'll be surprised if there's much damage to that car. He just grazed it with the front wing. Oh, Lawson's done 19 laps. Sorry. Apologies. Who crashed? Well, who hasn't crashed? In this session, the following drivers have crashed. Charles Leclerc has crashed. Kevin Magnussen has crashed and caused a red flag. Guanyu Zhou has crashed, caused a red flag. Liam Lawson has crashed, caused a red flag. Esteban Ocon has crashed, survived, but damaged his front wing. Sergio Perez has gone on the gravel but survived. And Pierre Gasly has gone on the gravel and survived. So most drivers have had an issue in the session. Karun Chandok are reporting more rain. We will see. That's coming live from Karun. Rooney. And just 7 minutes to go in this session, everyone. Great to have you all with us again. I'm super looking forward to qualifying because I think in mixed conditions you've got to watch out for the Williams, watch out what Alex Albon can do, watch out for drivers who just don't get it right. I mean, look at Charles Leclerc here, down in 14th. Yellow flag in sector 1. Oh, speaking of Charles Leclerc, he's gone off again in turn 1, I believe, and this time he's gone into the barrier. Charles Leclerc has gone into the barrier, probably front wing damage, back onto green flag. That's twice now Charles Leclerc is locked up in turn 1, and this time he did not get away with it. Charles Leclerc did not get away with it there. So he is not looking comfortable at all. This is the context you get when you watch free practice. Oh, Verstappen goes faster with a blinding time. 122.7 for Verstappen. He is not messing around. Look at that from Max Verstappen. 122.7. Absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, Charles Leclerc will have to return to the pits to replace that front wing. I mean, they're getting through front wings, some of these teams. George saying Max is probably sandbagging. Well, I mean, the sandbagging is off there. 122.7. He's proving what he can do. That is a very quick time. Isn't that a second clear of Lando Norris? And but Sergio Perez is up there. George Russell is up there. George Russell goes fastest in sector 1, by the way. Fastest in sector 1. I'm going to look at the replay of Charles Leclerc. Big old lock-up. Oh, he goes in way too hot this time. Way too hot. And to be fair, it's not a massive impact in the front for the Tech Pro barrier. Let me have a look here. Big lock-up. Right, then left, then both. And in fact, he doesn't even hit the barrier. My bad. He doesn't even hit the Tech Pro. So he's got away with it again, Charles Leclerc. He's very good at almost hitting the barrier, so it's a hard skill to learn and master, I'd say. George Russell was very quick in Sector 1, but now Valtteri Bottas goes quicker. This is an insight of what we're going to see in qualifying on this channel in a couple of hours' time, because the track is clearly drying out. It's clearly drying. Whatever Karun says is not correct, because there we go. George Russell goes second there with a very quick Sector 1 and a purple Sector 3. Have a look at Valtteri Bottas. Sergio Perez as well with a quicker Sector 2 than George Russell. Meanwhile, Verstappen does the fastest Sector 1 out of anyone, half a second quicker than George Russell. So the track is drying very quickly. Welcome, Daichi. When is qualifying? You have time for a shower. Depends how long you take in the shower, John Boss. But I think you probably have time. That's no slight on you intended. But Verstappen fast Sector 1. Let's see what we do in Sector 2 as well. And let's just treat this as a practice for qualifying, because you don't want to get caught out here. Liam Lawson again, back out on track. Great to see. In fact, pretty much everyone is out on track apart from the two drivers who ended up needing to have their cars recovered, Guanyu, Zhou and Kevin Magnussen. Verstappen is going to set something absolutely unholy here, by the way. This is going to be ridiculous from Verstappen. Keep an eye on it. Charles Leclerc, bin it or win it, Davina says. Yes. Every corner you can win it. You can also bin it. Oh, 120. Whoa, my word. 121.6 is obscene, frankly, from Verstappen. He has just found another level there. 121.6 is a second clear. So Verstappen, I mean, what can the McLarens do here in the last couple of minutes? Only 4 minutes to go of the session. Yeah, the sandbags have gone. I think Lando might have had an issue there. He's driving quite slowly. I'll have to have a look whether he recovered from something. Who else is looking good? Look at the deltas here. Charles Leclerc is really on it. He's done a decent Sector 1, I believe. Welcome, Ricciardo44. Sorry to hear about your crash. Good to see you in the chat, though. Who else is going to go in the 21s? Let's see. Charles Leclerc, what can he do? It's no good. It's no good, weirdly. There must have been a very bad sector there for Charles Leclerc. George Russell, meanwhile, has set a decent Sector 1. He is on the move. Lewis Hamilton is setting some solid sector times. Could be a solid sector. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc came across some traffic there. He was not happy, I think, with Lando Norris. I think some fun and games there between Leclerc and Norris. I think there is a bit of spice there, and that might be why we saw Leclerc not set that time in the end. Danny, you need to be a cleaner racer because you cause filth and do I'm the dirtiest driver in Gran Turismo 7. Absolutely confirmed. Thank you so much, Danny. I take it from Max Verstappen, my inspiration. But I think there was some drama there between Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc, which impacted both their times. George Russell, where did Hamilton end up P7? So George Russell's looking pretty consistent. Here we go, Oscar Piastri with a very fast Sector 2, but we're running out of time, everyone. And the track is getting drier. This is a simulation. We make no bones about it. This is a simulation now to the end of qualifying. Verstappen, though, with the fastest Sector 1. So risky. If you bin the car now, it could all be for nothing if you can't get it fixed in time for qualifying. So I just find it fascinating that some of these drivers are pushing so hard. A bit ominous for Liam Lawson there, being so far down. Yes, F1 crazy. Deliberate takeout. Oscar Piastri with the fast Sector 2 goes P3, but again, no one else in the 121s apart from Max Verstappen. No one else can compete with Verstappen right now, and that includes Sergio Perez, who's just sort of ambling around. Less than a minute to go, everyone. Less than a minute to go in the session. Let me just change my battery here. Bear with me. Is anyone going to go into the 121s? Because if they can't, I would say Max Verstappen is looking absolutely supremely strong here in trying to get pole position and therefore put himself in the best chance of getting that 9th consecutive victory in Formula 1, only done once before. Senna couldn't do it, Prost couldn't do it, Schumacher couldn't do it. Different times back then, obviously, but remember Senna in the MP44, very dominant car. But Verstappen would join a... Oh! Meanwhile, Verstappen goes off the track. Verstappen goes off the track onto the gravel. And it's the same place Perez went off, so no damage for Verstappen. But interestingly, he was pushing it so hard, he's gone off the track. Yeah, Lorenzo spotted it as well. Verstappen goes off the track. Meanwhile, whoa, it looked like Alonso was drifting that car. So the drivers are really pushing it, and they're finding out where the grip is or lack of grip. So you will not see Verstappen improve in this FP3. I'm very excited for qualifying here because wet conditions, mixed conditions, drying conditions. Int is at the moment. When are we going to hit that cutoff? We could hit a cutoff in qualifying where we go onto the dry tyres, onto the soft tyre, and that's going to be all about which teams have the biggest cojones to go onto that dry tyre and risk everything. Because everything to gain, everything to lose. And can anyone top of Verstappen? We've just seen Verstappen go off in the last minute of FP3. Absolutely crazy. By the way, please, please, please do hit that like button on stream. Do make sure you're subscribed. You do not want to miss qualifying because I think it could be a very exciting qualifying here. So much pressure on Verstappen himself to get that record or equal that record and then be in a shot and beating it in the next race. But this is a track that takes absolutely no prisoners. And there's basically no runoff apart from turn 1. F1 Crazy saying it will be dry by quali. I mean, it's going to be damp. It's not going to be bone dry. It's going to be at least damp. It's going to be drying. And there was Max Verstappen just turned in and absolutely nothing happened. So, bit of a disaster there for Max avoided, I'd say, because that could have been a lot worse. Meanwhile, looking at George Russell, who was also pushing it. What happened with Russell? Oh, had a big moment. I think that was where Liam Lawson spun the car around and he drifted it around the last corner. Could be some unseen gravel damage. Could be, George, could be. I'm sure the Red Bull mechanics will be having a keen eye. But there'll be no cars going around now. I don't think there's any support. Is there a support race in the interim? Meanwhile, Leclerc's gone off again for the 3rd time at T1. And he's complained on the radio about the corner. I think that's more you, Charles. But Charles Leclerc, I don't know if he's doing some spot betting or something, but if you had Charles Leclerc going off 3 times in turn 1, then you probably win some money. Meanwhile, they're all doing their practice starts now on the intermediate tyre. Questionable value if these are not going to be the conditions. There is going to be an F2 sprint. Well, that's going to be carnage. There's going to be carbon fibre all over the track. So we'll have some F2 cars going around. Who will, as F1 Crazy says, will be hoovering up some of the water from the track. But could it rain again? Have a look at the radar then. It looks like a lot of the rain kind of just goes up the coast and is just going north of Zandvoort. But if one of them is going to go over, it's going to dump a load of rain, a load of moisture onto the track. It's going to be very, very, very interesting to see. Very interesting to see. Yeah, he said turn 1 is so bad. But turn 1 is the same for all drivers, Charles. It's the same for all drivers. Meanwhile, people are still going around just sort of, doing some in-laps maybe. And if we go down the classification here, we see that the McLarens really did not capitalise at the end then. It looked like they had very good fundamental... Wow, there is so much rain. I think, you see that yellow... rain just to the south of Zandvoort. I think I can see that on a feed, and it is heavy, heavy, heavy rain. Heavy rain out to the sea. So the question is that rain staying out on the sea, or is it going to hit the track a little bit? What am I doing while I waste quality? I'm going to add some stuff to the stream. So I'm going to add some alerts and stuff, so you'll be able to say in the chat certain things, and we'll have stuff prop up on stream, so your favourite drivers and whatnot. So I'm working full time today, basically. Hopefully building up the momentum in the streams again, so we can have a super exciting space to watch the qualifying in the race. Yeah, that sounds like Lando, but they just could not qualify. I think that says everything about the mixed conditions and needing to take advantage of it. You need to take advantage of these mixed conditions. So Verstappen, Russell, Perez, Alonso, Hamilton, Albon, Piastri, Bottas, Leclerc, Norris, Gasly, Sainz, Tsunoda, Sargent and Hulkenberg. Top 15, then Ocon, Stroll, Liam Lawson, but he survived, and maybe survival is the main thing. Right, everyone, we are going to be back for qualifying at, I believe, 1 o'clock UK time. So that is going to be in 1.5 hours time. So there is a link at the top. Please, please, please remember to hit that like button. I know I say it all the time, but we're on 37 likes, 60 people watching. If everyone watching just hit that like button if you are enjoying it, we would get up to 50 likes, and that would boost the stream a little bit. I'm going to keep an eye on what's going on in terms of the weather. But we're going to head on over now to the pre-page for the qualifying live stream. It's automatically going to take you there. That's where you want to be to follow qualifying. I'm going to guide you all through it. It's been great to hang out with you all for FP3, dust off some of the cobwebs. So we will be back. We will be back. I will see you then. Thank you so much for joining. Really, really, really appreciate it. It means an awful lot. And yeah, I will see all you guys and girls for qualifying. Let's do it.